Hi there. Welcome to Viewpoint Christian Academy's devotion time. My name is Junior Varghese, and I'm going to share with you the devotions for this week. Stay tuned. So this week, I just want to talk about the day of Pentecost as we move forward towards it. And one thing that I want to talk about the day of Pentecost is that um, this day is a very special day for all of the Pentecostals, and not only the Pentecostals, but a great day that a great day in history that caused the birth of the church. And as we approach this day, I just want to share a few thoughts based on the day of Pentecost and how we need to live as Christians and how Jesus has taught us, or Jesus has shown us to live as a Christian. So I just want to talk about what happened before the day of Pentecost and what happened after the day of Pentecost and what were the events that led to the day of Pentecost. So before we go into that, I want to just give you heads up or bring you along to the event of the day of Pentecost. So before the day of Pentecost, Jesus came to this earth. We all know the story. Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary, and then he did a lot of things. And one of the main things that he actually did was to show the disciples, or show the people who were living, show the Jews, or show the people of Israel how to live, or how to be righteous in this unjust world, or how to live a righteous life in this sinful world. So he taught his disciples, mainly his 12 disciples, but as a whole, he taught everyone, all of the Israelites, to live such a holy and righteous life in this sinful world. So, how to be good when everything around us is bad? That's what they said to even Jesus. How can something good come out of Nazareth? Because at that time, Nazareth was considered to be a very bad place, that nothing good can come out of Nazareth. But today I want to challenge you to live a good life among the craziness that is happening around us. And right now, I know there are so many different things that are going around in the country of United States, but in the country of India right now, there are so many craziness going around, especially with COVID. But one of the main things that we need to do, that Jesus taught us to do, is to live this good life. And it doesn't matter what goes on around us, but we need to exemplify the nature of Christ to the people around us. So it is hard to be good, especially when there are things that are really bad that are going around us. But fear not. That's what Jesus said. Don't worry. I know that it is hard to live such a good life. It is hard to live such a righteous life. And it is hard to do your assignments, because right now, I'm sure as we are approaching the end of the year, there are a lot of people who are stuck in our assignments, and there are a lot of people who just need that motivation, and a lot of us who have given up. But I just want to encourage you. God knows what you're going through. God knows that you're not able to do it on your own, and God knew that you and I, and even the disciples, Jesus knew that they would not be able to fulfill what God had expected of them. And that's why he said, you need to wait. You need to wait in Jerusalem until I send you the Holy Spirit. You need to wait in Jerusalem until I send you the Holy Spirit. And it was a long time since Jesus resurrected and went above and told them to wait, but the disciples waited. They did not worry about what was happening around, but they waited on this promised Holy Spirit. And when the Holy Spirit came on them, they received power. They received strength. They received courage. And if they were part of Ignitia and they were part of Viewpoint, they would have received the motivation that they need. the encouragement that they need, and the uh, the the power to finish their assignments. So today, as we approach the day of Pentecost, I just want to encourage you and uplift you and motivate you by saying you need to get this Holy Spirit in your life to bring that discipline in your life. And once they got the Holy Spirit in their life, they were able to do more than what they were able to do before. So I want to encourage you to just depend on this Holy Spirit as we approach this day of Pentecost, to remind ourselves that we alone cannot do it by ourselves, but we need the help of the Holy Spirit to fulfill the things that are commanded of us, to fulfill the things that are required of us, and to fulfill the things that brings a purpose and destiny in our lives. And right now, your purpose and your destiny is to do your assignments. As we approach the end of this year, I want to encourage you to really give your best when you approach this last few weeks of our school year. So I just want to give a quick comparison of what happened before the day of Pentecost and after the day of Pentecost. We read in the book of Acts that the same people, Peter, John, Andrew, and all the disciples who were just fishermen and did not have the courage to speak up, were the same people who spoke up in their code of law, in their Sanhedrin. And they were amazed. All the people around them were amazed, and they were amazed that the disciples could actually do such a thing of courage. And what was the main reason behind it? It was the infilling of the Holy Spirit. It was what happened at the day of Pentecost. And today I want to just remind you, saying that God had filled you with his Holy Spirit. And there is the indwelling of the Spirit, just encouraging you, motivating you to fulfill your purpose. And I just want to compare that to our lives and say that doing your schoolwork without the help of the Holy Spirit versus doing your schoolwork with the help of the Holy Spirit. So when you do your schoolwork without the help of Holy Spirit, you begin to get distracted. And when you begin to get distracted, you start losing focus. And when you lose focus, you get demotivated. And it's just a cycle, Once you get demotivated, you lose your sense of purpose. You lose your sense of purpose by completing the assignments required of you at the start of the year. And you start to go back and begin to develop this due of assignments. And that brings frustration. That brings so many things added to it that just further just demolishes you and does not let you get the work to be done. And finally, it does not achieve the result that God has intended for you this year. And this is when you don't depend on the Holy Spirit and or when you don't do your work without the help of the Holy Spirit. But I want to encourage you and tell you that if you do your work and assignments with the help of the Holy Spirit, then you will not get distracted. And there are some of us who have that discipline already, and some of us has achieved greatness. But I want to talk about those who get distracted. But when you get distracted, the Holy Spirit will remind you gently to get back to your work, and to through your teachers and through your parents. Sometimes you'll just get that notification, that help note that needs, or a call from your teachers, or just teachers who notice that you're getting lagged by your work, that they would just send a help note and a word of encouragement saying that you need to get your work done. And those are some ways that the Holy Spirit reminds you that you need to lose your distraction and stay focused. Because when you get focused, when the Holy Spirit brings focus back into your life, all the demotivation, all the sense of purpose that you had lost will now begin to come into your life. And when you begin to get motivated, the Holy Spirit will refresh your mind. And when your mind is refreshed, you start to do your assignments without any blockages, without any hindrances. And once you start getting into that cycle, then you'll be able to finish your schoolwork before the end of the year. So we only have a couple of weeks before we finish this school year. I just want to encourage you to just keep focus and to maintain the pace that you are leading. You know, the strength of a marathon runner is actually needed the most at the end of the race. That's when the strength is needed. And I want to encourage you to get that strength and power from the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit knows the purpose that He has in your life. And when you depend on His purpose, He will give you the strength and power to finish your goal. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.